custom creator here, Danny Lee, OGT. That dude up there is OGL Schmidt. We are custom creator. For the Beatles fans who are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. We could not resist checking out a new Beatles song. OGL, do you know anything about how they created this video?
Yeah, channel MVP Jennifer sent us a video that sort of detailed the creation of this, and honestly, it's really magical. This was a demo that John Lennon recorded in his home, and Yoko discovered it and gave it to the rest of the band in I think it's the mid '90s, '94, '95, and they decided that they would try to finish it, to make a complete song out of it, sort of as a tribute to John. They were able to get some work done. They laid down some guitar parts and some drums, but they were having trouble isolating John's vocal track. So they tried a bunch of stuff, but basically it was the vocal sort of being tied to the piano melody, and they couldn't separate those two. So it gave them enough trouble to where they just sort of abandoned the project, figured they'd uh, go back to it later. Of course, was it 2003? Gonna get crucified for this. George Harrison passed away in the 2000s from lung cancer. Uh, there was a really scary period there where he was actually attacked in his house by a knife-wielding lunatic that stabbed him in the chest and possibly exacerbated lung issues. Um, but either way, he passed away quite tragically. Uh, a lot of guitarists probably gently wept when that happened. Um, I wasn't trying to be cute on that. It was meant as tribute. But the band got together in 2022 because Peter Jackson, the filmmaker, Lord of the Rings, Frighteners, stuff like that, he had developed a technology that could actually rigidly isolate the tracks on the demos. So they were finally able to separate John's vocal. All right, so they were reinvigorated. They used George Harrison's guitar parts that he recorded in the '95 sessions. They laid down some new drums, a new bass line. They brought in strings because, as Paul said, that was very Beatlesy. Like you referenced Strawberry Fields Forever, and yeah, they were finally able to complete the song. And yeah, it was cool hearing Paul especially talk about it because all the career that they've had, the legacy that they've left, and then they were able to sort of finally create one final piece of music together. Like, this is a proper Beatles song. It's got all four of them playing on it, so that's a beautiful thing.
No doubt about it. Um, yeah, it really is. So I'm interested. Okay, so I paused it for a second because I was in a chat room. I'm a fan of the band Tool, and I was in a chat room, and I had just got my electric guitar, and I had laid them down on like blankets and put pallets for them on the floor, and I took a picture. Said my guitar is gently asleep, and something to the effect of Eric Clapton would be proud. So then some people commented, the Beatles done that song, not Clapton. And other people commented, no, Clapton done that song. So I just told OG I couldn't really remember what the conclusion to that debate was. So what did we just find out?
So the conclusion is both parties were right. The song was written by George Harrison. It was originally recorded by the Beatles, but Eric Clapton did perform lead guitar on that song. He simply is not credited on the recording. It's been Clapton's covered it. He actually did it with Paul McCartney. A lot of artists have covered the song. Like the first time I heard "My Guitar Gently Weeps," believe it or not, was an instrumental version done by a guitar player named Vinnie Moore. So it's influenced generation after generation of artists.
And there's a pretty cool story about Clapton and I believe John Lennon and the same woman. So maybe George Harrison, but that's
Yeah.
a rabbit hole if you haven't. Yeah, it's kind of like Joni Mitchell is who Robert Plant is singing about in Going to California. the lady that took his weed or while he's smoking his wine.
Rock and roll soap opera.
So, admittedly, I've not always been a big Beatles fan. Admittedly, I've probably made fun of the Beatles quite a bit, even though I love, join, come together. And there's a couple songs, but I have recently gotten curious and dropped my ego a while back. So, since that happened, I have not really thought about the Beatles since the ego's been gone. So, they're very, very talented. Now, I had listened to all of them and their work prior or after they split up. So I loved all of it. And so I just want to get that out. I want to be honest. So I am way more open-minded now, optimistic. So I believe I'll enjoy this. And I do have a question, though. Why is the song Come Together played on multiple, now I'm talking about America because that's the only place I live. Why is it played multiple rock and roll stations, classic rock, anything maybe new rock, continuously in rotation with all the others, but really the other Beatles songs aren't? I would like to know that if you know in the comments. I know it had more of like a funky. It's different than the rest of the Beatles songs from what I know of their discography. Here come on, black dog, groove it up slowly. I mean, that's just and the humor in it. One and one and one is three. Yeah. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker. He just do what he please. I love all that stuff. Just want to get that out there, guys.
Yeah, the Beatles were a product of their time. So, like the '60s, that was 20 years before I was born. So, definitely respect the band's legacy. Definitely respect their influence and the talent the members have. The first thing I ever heard from a Beatle was "Got My Mind Set on You" by George Harrison.
Yeah.
That was my introduction. I had no idea that there was such a giant world that I was missing at that point. So,
I also give credit to the Beatles for shouting out that, although everyone talks about, well, in addition to everyone talking about the Beatles, who definitely did change the face of music, they, in their self, reference Hank Williams as shaping the face of music as the original OG, as Hank Williams is who invented the genre, period. There was nothing else besides gospel being played on mainstream music, if you will, until Hank Williams started singing about getting drunk and cheating on women. And
Hank birthed the genre. The Beatles were a prime force in its evolution. So definitely.
And Tool has transcended it all. Sorry, had to get that in there.
I will leave chapters here if you guys want to skip our chatter and head right to the meat of the reaction. I will make that I'll make that convenient for y'all. But we Beatles are a legendary band, and there's a lot of context there that we wanted to provide.
Exactly. Maybe there's a few things there you didn't know. There's a lot I didn't know. So I love knowing. Knowing's half the battle. That's what G.I. Joe taught me.
Never stop learning.
Yeah, let's get into it.
1, 2.
It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. And now and then, if we must start again,
transition there, but my first reaction is pure, beautiful sadness, because that is, it's almost like those words were written a long time ago for exactly this moment, or the moment when this happened. I mean, every now and then, thinking back and looking forward, the song seems to be about transcending time, even after one's not together with a woman, I suppose, was its original meaning, but it takes on such a more profound meaning now. So, and this mix is beautiful. It sounds like that we are singing from different realms all together, as we being the Beatles.
I agree with pretty much everything that you said. The line, now and then, if we could start again, that definitely hits hard, recognizing the context. The name is perfect, now and then, because you have a vocal that was probably recorded in the 70s. You have guitar parts that were laid down in 95. You have vocals that were recorded just a year ago, just recently. And technology has allowed it all to be merged. I think sometimes people think technology can be heartless, cold, mechanical. This is a good example of it sort of creating a bridge, in this case, a bridge through time, where, these four men can perform together. It's beautiful.
I went and saw Grand Funk Railroad not too long ago. I live in North Carolina, and they were right down the street, about 15 minutes from me. And I have a lung disease, and it didn't, which I know goes in context with George, right? He said that's how he passed, was lung disease.
Yes,
so it's a terrible thing, but I mean, it's actually humbled me a lot, made me a better person. But point being, I couldn't really get down there to see them, but I saw a gentleman who was part of the road crew, and all of Grand Funk Railroad is together now, and I think one of them has passed too. So tension in the band, or something. I forget why I think it was Mark or whatever his name was left, but anyway, a great quote to that technology he was talking about, and music, and how it's brought older music to us. He said the music's always sounded this good. Technology is just now chokes me up thinking about it. Technology is now catching up with the way music has always sounded. So it was just as beautiful and pretty and clear and with clarity, back then, as it is now. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't plan that.
It's perfectly stated. That's exactly how it is. The technology is catching up to what it's always sounded like.
Well, I mean the title. I said then as it is now.
I see what you did.
All right. Let's go back.
1, 2.
I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. And now and then
slash diphthong that's both happening simultaneously there on the.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you hear the little guitar riff underneath it, that is so subtle, but it's reminds me of Alice in Chains in a way. That underlying riff, and also the words you mentioned a while ago reminds me of a great lyric from Lane and Jerry was, "You, my friend, I will depend, and if we change, I love you anyway." That is
I would say one need only listen to the harmonies and Alice in Chains to realize that there's definitely some Beatles influence there.
100%. Also, Hank Williams, because Jerry grew up listening to old country. So, again, I tried to point out that rock and roll and country, the older country, aren't really that different.
And if you go away, I know you'll never stay. Now and then I miss you. Oh, now and then I want you to be there for me. I know it's true. It's all because of you.
There it was. I missed it earlier. Right at you. I know it's you. I missed it. I couldn't point it out just a second ago, but listen, right after you.
It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you.
Oh, you hear them talk there in the very end. What do they say? Hit one. I know the Beatles were like Tool in the way they hide stuff in their music a lot, or tools like them, whatever. I don't know. Get one, them one, we're one, maybe.
Yeah, couldn't catch it. It was
One more time.
really buried in there. Yeah.
I don't know. That's purposeful, I'm sure. Good one,
But-
maybe. Good one.
Very possible. But I was just thinking, as you grow older, you may not be able to play as fast as you did when you were in your 20s. And you may not be able to hit the high notes that you could hit in your 20s. But the fundamentals of songwriting, those are not going to leave you. This song just sort of reminds me of why the Beatles have the legacy that they do. Is they're masters of melody and arrangement.
Yeah, because that's
the-
4 time signature. There's nothing special about what they're doing, but it's amazingly complex to be so amazingly simple. It's
Yeah,
Like
the
the
string arrangement in particular is really nicely done. It just sort of flows and bobs and weaves and like enhances the song in like different ways. Um, the song sort of reminds me of like walking through a meadow during a sunny day where the sun is occasionally overtaken by clouds and then comes back out. It's a beautiful song that every now and then, just because of the music and because of the context, feels a bit melancholy. Um, John's voice is it's got a bit of nasality, but it's really pretty. It's very his performance is very relaxed. This is the melody. That's one of the good things I think about being able of recording demos in your home. Is like you don't have people barking in your ear. You don't have to worry about the expectations of others. You just do something when you feel it, and then you can put it together later. You can sort of tell the casual nature of his vocal, and again, everything was just sort of swirling around it. Uh, like you mentioned, the guitar parts very subtle, but just intricate in their own in their simplicity. I guess would be the word. I just, if you think about like Beatlemania, and you look at the film and the pictures of it, and you realize that the two surviving members, that's their memory. Like that's I can't even imagine looking back and having that just that chaotic roar and how fast time must have seemed to be going then. And you wonder if they ever miss the roar of the crowd, um, or if they appreciate the relative tranquility that they have now. There's two voices that they miss, and I think as beautiful as this song is, I think the greatest thing about it is that it allowed two 80-year-old men to make music with their brothers one last time.
you know
And I think the Beatles definitely deserve that.
you just you just set emotion all through down the spine with another Alice in Chains parable is with Mike and Lane being gone. It's still a four-man band that misses their brothers. And still respects them very much. So I yeah, that's beautiful. It's
And that they feel them every time they perform those songs.
and the audience. So on a lighter note, guys, OGL is, well, we'll say has never had to worry about going to the DARE program because he's never done any kind of substance. I have done many, many, many. I eat acid not long ago. Pretend I eat it, and which I haven't in a long time. Just So I know the Beatles were a very psychedelic band. I know they experimented with psychedelics a lot, and I think there was a joke of I'm trying to get George off the ceiling.
Got a song about a yellow tambourine or something.
Yeah.
Get Ringo down.
Yeah, where did that come from? Where am I getting that from?
Wasn't that Bill Hicks
I
that did
think
that?
it was Bill Hicks. Yeah, it was Bill Hicks. You're right, exactly. So anyway, but melancholy, walking through a field and swirling, all that is the psychedelic aspect of the Beatles, which I very much respect because psychedelics is the one and only drug, if you will, that is prevalent everywhere in nature. There are several different ways to experience that without having to put man's hand on it at all, other than just ingesting it. So that's how we'll talk about that. But that is they are very good at that feeling. So if you want to know close to what that feeling feels like, that very much is close to it. Encapsulates a very similar parody, parable, whatever. So yeah, that made me emotional, guys. I didn't really think it would. Maybe it was Alice in Chains reference too, but either way, it's the same love, camaraderie, loyalty to your brothers. Also, Tool is a four-man band who have only had one band member change, and that was the only narcissistic member of it, and that was early in the career. So for over 30 years, four guys have been doing the same thing together. So Zeppelin is also a four-man band. These four-man bands are iconic. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having more members. So forgive me, who does most of the lead vocals? Was it John?
Yeah, the lead vocals from John's demo from 19.
I mean, in general, their whole discography.
I'm gonna say John probably sang most of their stuff. They were a band where like everybody sang a little something. I know Paul.
Well, the reason I asked
Probably
is, go ahead.
John sang the most, and then probably Paul after him.
Okay. So, did John play instruments?
I think he played guitar.
I was wondering because there are like Zeppelin, for instance, Plant don't play, so it's really only three members who play instruments. Even though Maynard would tell you that your voice is an instrument, and several other people as well, local coaches, your voice can be an instrument. So, yeah, I enjoyed this. Thank you, Jennifer. And we're sorry we took so long. We have updated our tech with yeah. We don't have to talk about that. It's about the Beatles.
But I mean, technology is a perfect topic because
part of what done this. You're right.
yeah, this song was made possible by technology. This through technology. Like if it weren't for technology, I would not have been able to connect with Danny. We wouldn't have had this. Had the times that we've had. I will be meeting him in the old-fashioned way coming January. But technology can do some amazing things.
Oh, Jill, you
all in
could
how
finish
it's
it up.
applied.
Mental health is real. This old guy took Lasix. I've got to go do number one, bud. So
All right, I'll finish it
mental
off.
health is real, guys.
Be a part of the start. Take care of yourselves. You can take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.